So one thing you really have to understand is, in a chapter, there are three things that contributes towards the health of a chapter. One is the fill activity. So what is fill activity? Fill activity is filling all the empty categories. The second one is the retaining activity. What is retaining activity? So, in any business, what is easier, to find a new customer or to sell to an existing customer? Which is easier? To sell to an existing customer, because it's already a customer, right? No doubt. So retention is important for us, because already somebody who's become a member, he knows the system, at least partially. If we mentor him, what can we do to mentor him, to empower him or her, which will make them stay on, and then create that balance, which will create our success stories. Okay. Now, I was with Patrick yesterday, Patrick Rosario, who is a member of the Pioneers chapter. And he was telling me about a lot of things that he needs to create in terms of alignment. And I heard him and I asked him, Patrick, how many people have you done one-to-ones with who are new to your chapter? Because Patrick has just completed 5 years cumulative. He took a break in between, but he came back. He left the chapter in between and came back. And together, he has completed 5 years. And since he was completed 5 years, he came to me to accept his 5-year pin, and which looks like this, by the way. I'm wearing the 5-year pin. It's got a pin with a single star. So he got this pin, and then he sat down for a one-to-one, and then we had a chat and so on. And then he I kind of asked him, so what's happening on business? He said, Shabeeb, things are not going that great. A lot of things are in the pipeline, but not going that great. He spoke to me, and then I realized that what he's asking for, there was one member in this chapter who could provide that. Then I asked him, have you ever done a one-to-one with this person? Okay. Patrick said, no, I didn't. Then I told him, Patrick, if anything, my advice to you is do a one-to-one immediately with this person, because I believe he can open a lot of doors for you. Patrick took my advice. I believe today at 11 o'clock, he met that person. I believe in the Pioneers chapter, he shared a message also regarding that, right? How that one-to-one has actually opened a lot of doors and possibilities for him. So one of the things that we really have to understand is, regardless of even the period of membership that you have in BNI, sometimes you need an external push. Okay, sometimes you need an external push. Now, I'll be very honest with you. I'm coming to this meeting after spending 3 hours with my personal coach, who's based in Bangalore. Okay, I sat for 3 hours with him, and I said, when I'm coming for this meeting, I need to be in a positive mindset, and I want to pass the right message. And we worked on some things which has really opened up my mind to a lot of things that I'm going to share with you. Because when I prepared this, it was merely ideas, but now it's converted into plans. So sometimes you just need an external push. How many of you felt that? You have a chat with somebody you trust, somebody you believe can be a part of the solution for you. You find solutions, right? All of us happens that, right? So believe us, we are there to help you. And if I encourage each and every one of you to please sit with me and create your goal for what you want to achieve, not just in BNI, but even in your business, and see how BNI can create that alignment for you. Okay. So goals. Now, goals, a lot of people come and tell me, I work very hard. How many of you work hard? Do all of you work hard? I work hard. Every one of us works hard. Please understand that. Some people might try to put you down by saying, oh, why are you working hard? You just need to work smart, right? And then they say, oh, working smart means, it doesn't mean spending so much hours in this thing. I'm telling you something, okay? I have been trained by some of the best people in the world. I have worked with them. I have been creating the results with all of you whom I'm serving right now. You are all my clients who I'm serving. One thing I have realized is hard work is the mother of good luck. My dad told me this when I was very young. I used to tell him, no, it's about smart work, but now I know what he meant. You need to work hard. But working hard with what makes you smart? Working hard with a goal makes you smart. Got it? So if you're working hard without realizing where you want to go, or what is the tools and resources that you have available to you and how to use it, you are working hard with carrying that rocket on your back. Remember the rocket guy in the beginning, okay? If you work smart, you will get inside the rocket and you will know how to ride it. So how to do it in the BNI way? So tell me, guys, okay, in the chat box, what kind of goals can you have for your chapter as a member or as an LT, whatever it may be. What are the kind of goals you can set? What are some specific goals that you can set? What do you think can be some of the specific goals? Because you know that for the first letter of S is smart, right? First letter of smart is S. So S means setting a specific goal. What are the specific things that we can work on to improve in our chapter? What do you think? Just type it out. What do you think is one of the best things that we can work on? We set, okay. Okay, so you set a specific goal for 45 members. Okay. So what is the specific thing that you can work on? So what does ROI mean? What does ROI mean? What is the specific ROI that you want to create? Okay. Come on, everyone, put your fingers to the keyboard. Let's get some exercise for your fingers. We're asking you to jump around. I know it's Ramadan, but fingers can work. What do you think? Be first green chapter, okay. Green members, okay. Okay. So let me tell you something. As a chapter, one of the most specific things that you have to look at is your member strength. What is the number of members you want? Okay. What is the ideal number of members that you want? Because if you do not know what is the ideal size of members that you want, and I'm speaking from a leadership perspective over here, okay? I'm not talking from the power of one as a member, but I'm talking to you as leaders who are going to set the goals for your chapter. Okay, that's what we are talking about today. Okay, all of you. Understand that? So power of one works at the member level, but at the chapter level, what's your specific goal? Okay, as a leadership team, as a member of the leadership team, as members of the MC committee or whatever committee you may be in, or even as a member, normal member, what is the goal for the chapter? Specific goal for the chapter you should be looking at. Specific goal is the member strength. What is the measurable thing that you can do? What happens when members grow? Now, I know that many of us think, okay, Shabeeb, if your specific goal is members, the way we measure is how much growth we have. No. The growth that we have is because of those members coming in. What is the additional business that is happening? You understand this? This is the disconnect that most people have when they are also setting their personal goals. They believe that, okay, I want to lose 10 kilos, means if that's my specific goals, I measure it each kilo I lose. No, you have to measure it by looking at what you're eating and how much exercise you're doing. So similarly, when you're setting a specific goal for your chapter in terms of size, how do you measure it? How do you measure the impact of it? In terms of making the members productive. Ashok, fantastic. That is done through measuring the business done. Okay, right. So what's the third thing? SMART. S is specific, M is measurable, A is achievable. How do we create an achievable path towards it? How do we create an achievable path towards the membership? Okay. So what I'm sharing with you, can you all of you see the Excel sheet? You see an Excel sheet? Yeah. So this is an Excel sheet which I have taken inspiration from Spain, from BNI Spain. In BNI Spain, what they have done is they have created a contact sphere chart. We did share this chart before, but we didn't actually create a new. I wanted to upgrade it before giving it to all of you. Now, this chart is a chart for the Pioneer chapter. Okay, what it outlines in each line is the industry in which they operate, the members operate. Got it? So the first line, if you look at it, shell and core in construction. Okay, shell and core in construction. We have included architects also over here. We have taken some liberties just to make sure that we can fit in the proper way. But this shows which all categories coming in the shell and core contact sphere will mean more business for the members in that contact sphere. Think about it. If a general contractor comes in, isn't it, and Khalid Nassar, you are an architect, right? In your chapter, aren't you able to give good referrals to Khalid Abdulaziz as well as receive good referrals from him?
Yes,
because
yes. He's from Lana and from people from the same construction industry, let's say.
Exactly. That's called a contact sphere. Okay. So if you look at the fit out contact sphere, so if somebody gets a fit out contract, okay, An interior designer can work with them, CCTV can work with them, fire safety can work with them, office furniture can work with them, kitchen supplier can work with them. If it's a restaurant or even a home, you can work with them. So you will see these categories over here. Now, you might ask me, what are those numbers in between?
Yes.
Right? So what we have done is we have integrated this report in a way where it shows how many other chapters are these categories filled, whereas in your chapter it is still open. So what this means is, in the Pioneer chapter, the general contractor category is open. And it is filled in 2 of the other chapters. Now, I have not mapped the Royals and the winners and the Almaha yet. I'm yet to create that. But if you're looking at Pioneer, Phoenix, and Royals, what we have done is we have mapped the number of chapters in which the seat is occupied over here. So what happens now for you as an LT and for your members is, as an LT, now think about this. You call Nihad, Manish, who's going to join your chapter, I believe was inducted right now, and Sippy for a meeting, and you sit with them and you tell them, listen, in the other chapters, there are 2 chapters having a general contractor. There is 3 chapters having GRP. It's wrong. It's not yet mapped properly. I'm going to finish that today and send it out to you. And you tell them there's an architect in 2 other chapters, and there's a waste disposal company in 2 other chapters. Who are the members you can bring in to fill these categories in our chapter?
Exactly.
You have these 3 people together and tell them, and have them drive a visitor day focused on construction industry. You could do the same for legal and finance. You could do the same for HR. You could do the same for office and business services. You can do this for every single contact sphere. Now, to be open with you, the categories for which I have put the names, now you can see there are blank where I don't have categories, and there are category names over here. The ones which I filled the category names for, there are, can you just kind of guess how many category names are there in this chart total? Any guesses? Yes, manpower supply can work. We have manpower supply in
40 plus.
We have 139 categories listed, of which 42 are taken in Pioneers. And if you look at the total category occupation in all the chapters put together, there are 83 unique categories that is there in all the chapters in Qatar. So what we will see is there will be 83 boxes with either a member name or a number. And there will be the balance boxes with number 0, because that category is not there in any chapter. Got this? Now, Jafar, this is the reason why I asked you to come today, even if you were sick. Yeah, because Jafar is the contact sphere expert in our region.
It's really nice. It's really good to see that we have now identified and modified it more with the members who are there in the other chapters also, with the numbers and details. It can give a good boost to the LT to see that, okay, we have other members like a general contractor in 2 other chapters. So why can't we also have one? So it's
I'm going
really
to give you a secret over here. I'm going to give you a secret over here. You know, if you reach out to the members in the other chapter where the categories are taken and you ask them, who can you recommend to our chapter? They will give you a list of names. And maybe they will help you in inviting these members into your chapter. This is where we want all the 5 of the chapters to come together, all the LTs to come together and utilize the Goodness Task Force to actually grow the chapter. So what I'm showing you is a path to actually become 1,000
Who,
members.
please answer, please put a person who also there.
Who also there literally means it's the LT. So if you look at it, the community builders are the best people to handle this. We can actually have the community builders come in. My dad is calling me. Just let me just check who this is, what he wants. Hello, yeah. So this is how it works, okay? I hope all of you understand this. Anybody like aha, oho, or wow, what do you feel? What do you feel right now when you saw this possibilities?
Actually,
So
I
all
think
the presidents, are you happy with this kind of a tool? Yes, Khalid?
I think we can add to each category, if you ask me.
Yes, you tell us which categories to add. We will add it. We will amend it, and we'll give it to you, because this Excel sheet is not, it's not an easy task. We actually have programmed it to pull data from a lot of different Excel sheets. There are 6 Excel sheets that works together to create this one Excel sheet for one chapter. So we have programmed this all together to come together, and this is how we update. So you have to let us know, and we'll update it, and we'll send it to you. Okay. Right. So now we know what is achievable. The main thing is what is relevant. Okay. Because once you know which are the open categories and you get a list of it, which are the ones that we have to fill in immediately? Okay. It's very important to understand that what's the first step. That is what relevant means, or realistic. What's the first step you can take? If you have a goal or you have a plan where you are stuck to take a step towards it, it's not a realistic goal, or it's not a realistic plan. Okay. So what is the immediate action you can take? What's the relevant categories that you can fill right now in your chapters is one thing you will have to discuss. Okay. Now you have 5 more months. You can spend 2 weeks on this preparation, and you can have your members being prepared for a visitor day next month. I'm not telling you that this is something you have to jump into immediately. Spend some time, think about it, and take it forward. What's the last letter in SMART? It's T, right? And what does T stand for? T stands for time bound. Exactly, time. So in how many days are we going to achieve it? And what are the methods to achieve it? You have to make a plan for all of these things. Okay. If you do this, now what we have done is we have expanded the acronym SMART in basis of what you can do as a leadership team to set your goal. Does this sound good for you? Is this making sense to all of you? Yes? Yes? Type yes if you feel that it's yes. Okay. I'm not over yet. I'm going to give you more clarity. Okay. So take a screenshot of this. I'm going to share the PDF, of course, of the presentation. Do take a screenshot of this and put it in your chapter group so that you can have positive discussions on this. The first thing that you really have to understand is setting goals is the first step to turning the invisible into visible. What you think is invisible to others until and unless you write it down as a goal and communicate it. You as a president, you as a VP, you as an ST, you as a member, you as a MC committee member, whatever role you're playing in the chapter, you might have a goal in your head. Yes or no? There is a goal. Now, many of us are not even sure what the goal is because we are never thought in that way. But taking that goal, writing it down, and making it visible is the first step to actually making the plan work. Okay. So I shared you information about this thing. So once I showed you this, you started becoming visible. Okay, it's something we can do, right? So we move in that direction. Now, what is a SMART goal in BNI? Okay, again, what's going ahead? So the first thing is, if you become a 35-member chapter, there's a good chance you will close around 1 million Qatar Riyal a month average. Okay, if you're a 51 plus member chapter, there's a good chance you will be 3 million a month. If you're 75 plus, it's 10 million a month. If you're 100 plus, it's 15 million a month. Okay. So what are the activities you can do to make a SMART goal for your chapter? The first thing is, for a chapter to perform, the right combination of categories will have to be filled. So for you to perform better, you need the right categories to come in. Every chapter will have permutations and combinations for achieving this. What works for you could be different for someone else. So it all depends on what your chapter is currently having as strong contact spheres and weak contact spheres. It depends from chapter to chapter. Okay, so permutation is unique to you. We will help you set it. What's the next point we have? So what are the logical steps to get this done? The first step is, first, you need to have every member go through the contact sphere and write down the categories that they have to, if added to the chapter, they will get more business. So think about it, each of you. What kind of a category of business coming into your chapter will mean more business for you? Can you list one category, each of you, which is not there in your chapter? which is one category in your, not there in your chapter, coming into your chapter will mean more business for you. Think about it. So electrical trading, you don't have anybody in your chapter in the Royals? Yeah, you don't have anybody, yes. So electrical trading coming into your chapter is good. Business consultant company, very good. Civil contractor coming into your chapter, excellent, will mean more business for you. So Biju, think about it, a legal company coming in, because lawyers always advise on contracts, a contractual legal company coming into your chapter, right? Feroz, what kind of a chapter coming into your what kind of company coming into your chapter can mean more business for Radisson right now? A quality surveying company, good. Steel fabrication company coming in, fantastic. You're missing events in your chapter, very good. So what do you think? Dr. Usman, an optician coming into your chapter, think about it. So many people walk into opticals. Why do people walk into opticals? Because they want to look good. You know, it's not always the prescription glasses guys like me who walks into opticals. There are people who buy cool looking cooling glasses, right? And when they come in, they can always, you can always have a card being shared with that client from the optics saying that, you know, you want to have a good smile, also go to Dr. Usman, right? So think about it. What kind of categories coming into the chapter will get you better referrals? Okay, excellent. So you have listed it out. Minimum of 5 should be listed. And by the end of this meeting, I'm expecting all of you to put 5 categories in your chapter group to be invited as visitors for the first meeting after Ramadan. Okay, tell them for the first meeting after Ramadan, because the last 10 is going to be, I don't think there's going to be much of visitors coming in. But, and do not register them now also, please, because if you register them now, they'll be slotted for the 3 p.m. meeting. We need to change the meeting to 7 a.m., which will only be done after next week's meeting. So till then, please don't register, but start focusing on what visitors you're going to bring for the first meeting after Ramadan. What are the categories that, if some of the categories you're already listing in the chapter, it's okay, no problem. We can always feed you from the other chapter. The last is the categories you're listing may not be present in the chapter. That is also okay. So you need categories that are not there in the chapter, right? Now, what you have to understand is category of business, if present in the chapter, can help you giving them more business opportunities because you do proper one-to-ones with them. I'm going to share this, okay, screenshot, because I want to take you guys into a breakout room now very soon. List 5 categories that you can give in your chapter WhatsApp group now. I'm sorry, there's some repetition. Okay. So you will have the categories that's not there in the chapter, that's there in the chapter. Is that enough? No. What you have to do is you have to fill your contact spheres. So power teams basically means contact spheres. Okay. In India, they call it power teams because a big contact sphere become a power team. You have to look at your contact sphere as a means of filling your chapter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you into a breakout room. Before that, I'm going to just tell you, you need to also set a timeline. I'm going to give you 15 minutes. Each chapter I'm going to give you, the group, I'm going to give you 15 minutes. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to write down a goal following the specific, measurable, achievable, result-oriented, and time-bound formula of what we saw earlier. Okay. Please remember, BNI is your business growth engine.